Seduction of the Pack. I arrived in high school with the same group of girlfriends, and the confusion of who I was began to lay on thick. I had felt comfortable and brave in yearbook class and my other creative endeavors, but the more I shared my enthusiasm for these classes, the more the eyes of my besties began to roll. Desperate to maintain my socialization, I again began to build a second life for myself. And soon, the version of who I was in the hallways was different from who I was within the safety of the yearbook studio. While the girls I knew started dating boys in bands, I found more excuses to spend my time in yearbook. And as they started ditching lunch, I started diving into lunchtime editing. I conveniently had an editor's meeting every day they wanted to ditch lunch. The more time I spent in the yearbook studio, the more I realized that the other kids in my class were doing the same. It was like our secret hideout, a secret party only we were invited to. As I began to distance myself from the girl gang and spend more time in the studio, another magical tidbit of fun happened. I fell in love. He was in my grade, incredibly tall, and played volleyball. He thought I was brilliant and loved hanging out with me while I worked. We watched each other's games, were loved by each other's families, and didn't have a care in the world about pressures to lose our virginity. We were the epitome of innocent young love. Turns out, dating boys in our grade was not the cool kid thing to do, so the girls would often scoff when I chose to spend time with him instead of with the older boys in the bands. But we were young and in love, and nothing else anyone had to say about it mattered. One of the coolest things about being in yearbook was that we had the opportunity to attend a journalism conference for accelerated yearbook programs. My boyfriend and I were both selected to attend, and since they loved my innocent boyfriend, my parents approved for me to go. When one imagines yearbook camp, allow your brain to follow the rabbit hole of a common innuendo of band camp. That was yearbook camp. I wasn't yet into partying or total fuckery, but I surely took advantage of the opportunities for under-the-blanket hand jobs on the back of the bus and began to explore some of the more promiscuous sides of young love. It was just enough time away from our parents to get into a little trouble, and just long enough together to realize I wanted more. From the moment I learned about the power I had over a horny boy, it was like something completely took over me and this evil villain took over. I felt like I had complete control over this poor boy, and he suddenly transitioned from the love of my life into an object to play with. By the end of yearbook camp, I had decided that the relationship was too vanilla for me and set my eyes on some of the bad boys that hung out with the bands. The proof was within the pages of my high school diary, which I recently had the immense pleasure of thumbing through. I was crushing on the bad boys before I could even break up with my first love. Bless his heart, because I completely shattered that boy's dreams. We were going to be together forever, and I couldn't get away fast enough. I returned home from yearbook camp and dove right back into the girl gang, ready to rock and roll.